Okay, so welcome everyone. So I might just get you to mute just while I introduce Rolf to you guys. So it's been a long time coming, and we've wanted to learn about I-Ching for a while. A few of you have seen my posts and you've all been saying, yes, I want information, I want information. We know a little bit about it, but we don't know the depths and how to use it fully. Rolf has over 30 years of experience. I met him not so long ago, and he started talking to me sort of in the quantum healing space, and I just knew that I had to get you on. And so what I really want to do is, so Rolf is a conscious living coach and Gene Keys ambassador and guide for transformational processes. And so Rolf, I might get you to, if you feel it's applicable, just to give people a bit more information, because if they want to work with you, they can reach out to you privately and we can share some details at the end. The structure of today, what we're going to do, and ladies, just let me know, whoever's on live, just to interact. You can ask questions at any time. But what I'm thinking is, I'm just sensing in the community is that we have a little bit of knowledge, but we really want to sort of understand it a little bit deeper. So if you are quite an expert in this area, then please just ask more questions, because I just don't know at what level, how deep we need to go today. So here's my plan: talk about I-Ching, maybe bring in the Gene Keys, and maybe how human design comes into the mix as well. And then potentially have a look at a new portable device, which actually has I-Ching on it, and you can do scans, which is for Healy. So there's a lot of people in the Healy business here, but there's also people who've never heard of Healy, don't know what it means. So it's really important that if you are watching this, to reach out to the person that invited you if you want to know more about I-Ching and Healy. And we can dive into that too, and just talk about that, how you interpret the readings from the Healy, maybe towards the end. Does that sound okay for those who are on?
Yep.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be, yep. Okay, cool. So, so I'll hand over to you, Rolf. So you've, I think you want to share screen as well. So I'll leave it to you on how you want to roll, and we can just make this fairly interactive.
Okay, well, good morning, and thank you for your kind invitation. I'm calling in from Australia, near Brisbane. As you already mentioned, I call myself a conscious living coach. I help people to live consciously, to make conscious choices in their lives, and to move into consciously knowing their true being. I have a background in physiotherapy, personal training, counseling, and since 1995, I'm on what most people call a spiritual path. So I've been studying Course in Miracles for many years, non-duality, Eckhart Tolle, and then started in 2006 with human design, and since 2009 with the Gene Keys. And I completed a program there, so I'm a global Gene Keys ambassador as well. I run introductory webinars and workshops, and I'm a host for global community calls, and I do coaching and do webinars and workshops as well. The wider topic is conscious living, or transformation of consciousness. And we all know that we're living in exciting times at the moment. We feel it, that there's a shift in consciousness. Now, the ancients or the indigenous have known that for many years, that there's more to life than body, mind, and the world. First, I call it first, second, and third person perspective. So the I-Ching is a 4,000-year-old wisdom, and it's called the Book of Changes. So, and that for me says that the only constant in life is change. We're constantly changing, but that which is changing is not us. What we truly are is never changing. And you can call it unlimited, ever-present awareness. And we all have that spark within us. But because our attention is always focused on objective experience, we forget our non-objective presence. So the I-Ching for 4,000 years, that wisdom from the old Chinese, that wisdom is still, it's still valid today. And the gene keys are a modern version of the I-Ching. It's more applicable to our lives. It's pretty hard to work with the I-Ching, and most of the time it has been used as an oracle. You know, you go there and you use the coins and you use it for, you know, predictions or good fortune and all of that. But there's an incredible depth and wisdom in it, which we really can utilize today, and that is the gene keys. And the I-Ching consists of 64, what they call 64 hexagrams. And each of those hexagrams are connected with each other too, and they're connected with the universe. There's an underlying mathematical pattern. The number 64 has meaning, has the significance. We all know a 64-bit computer, right? The binary language. And what we are really, it's like a software, our bodies. It's like a software. It's running like a 64-bit computer, if you want. And you probably know how that looks like. It's a 1 and a 0 combined, and there's 64 possibilities to combine a 1 and a 0. And the same with the I-Ching. The I-Ching consists of two elements. There's a broken line and an unbroken line, yin and yang. You've heard that, masculine, feminine, yin, yang, 1, 0. We live in a dual or polarity, world of polarities. But it's all one of the same coin. It's all the same. So we have the number 64. And those 64s are also, there's a link to our 64 codons in our DNA. Now, isn't it interesting? And what are codons? Codons are just language that helps the body to produce proteins. So the 64, so just an analogy, you keep in mind, 64-bit computer, 64 hexagrams or gene keys, it's the same thing, and 64 codons in our DNA. It's all linked. We live in a holographic universe, and at the time we are born, you know, there's a correlation also to astrology. And at the time we are born, we are imprinted with certain qualities or tendencies or potential or shadow aspects. We are born with very individual aspects, if you want. And when we saw that in the Healy, the I-Ching is included as well, I thought, wow, that's really profound. They are really including something really profound in there, and I was excited. And we can use that, and how we do that, I'll explain a little bit further.
Rolf, can I just, and ladies, anyone just jump in. I want to like just explore that a bit to get my head around it. So this 64, and it's like, I don't even know how the language, but you use, like, we have sort of aspects. So we're so unique. Our DNA is so unique. So it's like we have different combinations of this. Is that how you would, and depending on our DNA is how we sort of react to change, how we cope with change, how we make decisions. Is that sort of from an entrepreneurial space, diving into this area? I know that, you know, particularly the women that are on, like they've asked me questions about this before, and they've got amazing knowledge in HD and delving into gene keys and are healers. It's like, how do we start to leverage this understanding? Like, how do we start to really take this to another level? Because like I really feel this shift in consciousness, like interact with me if you feel it too for others. But yeah, I really feel like I'm on fire at the moment. And it's almost like my body's like, whoa, trying to kind of hold me. So how can I use this information to really start to really tap into it, I guess?
Yeah.
And leverage it to my advantage and also help others.
Well, in particular, the gene keys, they have three main aspects. One is dealing with how to activate our innate potential. It's called the activation sequence. The next one is dealing with our relationships, how we can open our hearts in relationships. And the third aspect is prosperity. And there's even an extended version of the normal prosperity sequence. The normal one is called the pearl sequence, but there's an extended version which is called the star pearl. It's not official yet, but when I work with people, I try to include that. But it will come later during the year, and it's then called harmony. But it specifically deals with prosperity. Now, we can use that and try and I support people in integrating this pearl sequence in their life if they want to focus on prosperity. Now, prosperity in a sense is not wealth creation, it's abundance. And when we talk about abundance and prosperity, I mean, it is so much more than just money. Money is part, of course, but it's our health, our relationships, our consciousness. So when we talk about abundance, it is so much more than money. And it focuses more on what contribution can I make towards my community, so the community has a benefit and the community can reward me. So there's a win-win situation. Instead of the old wealth creation, there's a win-lose most of the time. So
I'm loving this is really dropping, because I just had some Facebook memories drop, over the last sort of 3 years, and how today we're running this and diving into this area. And it's just like watching that evolution, and also with current times, it's like, and then finding Healy, and it's almost like all of us who are all here, it's all synchronistic, like it's all meant to be. We actually have a role to play. And everyone is either healer or they've touched on their abilities, or they've got we've all got intuition, but they've really started to really tap into it lately. Yeah. And since using Healy, my intuition is through the roof. Yeah. Like it's all my clairs have opened up. So claircognizant, clairsentient, like it's all, it's like other elements were a little bit blocked. And so, yeah, like I'm really sensing that the prosperity is so different now. Like when I first started a business 3 years ago and sort of went on the entrepreneurial journey, it was about the money. And it was, I was kind of getting lured into, hey, 6-figure coach, 7-figure mentor, and lured that way, thinking that was going to be fulfillment. So this is why I'm loving this work. Like I just find it so juicy. So if you've got any questions for Rolf, we'll just keep you rolling, because this is fascinating. I'm writing notes. So I hope you're all enjoying this, because I certainly am.
So how to use this knowledge when we are looking at building prosperity and being of service to the community, because that's what it's all about with Healy or with Gene Keys or with anything else. From my conscious living perspective, is how can I be of service? And it's a different mindset. So how can we use this? As you're probably all aware, you can download a free profile from the genekeys.com website, or go through my website as well. And I can also send a free PDF with a little bit of an introduction there as well to get you started. So how to use it? You download your profile. That's the first step. And there are introductions on the website how to work with the Gene Keys. Now, there are 3 parts to the Gene Keys journey. One is what they call the map, because with the Gene Keys, there's also a thick book, the Gene Keys book, and there are all the 64 Gene Keys explained and talked about in great detail, but in a very poetic language. Because Richard Rudd, the founder of the Gene Keys, he's a poet, he's a mystic, he's a writer. So through his mind, then the whole new interpretation of the old I-Ching is a very poetic language which we can use and relate to in our modern times. And the second part is then the profile, which he calls the compass. So we have a compass. And the third part then is called the journey. And he takes us then on a journey through the 3 different sequences and through each gene key. Now, through your personal profile, which is based on your birth time, date, and place, and you have your specific gene keys. Now, the gene keys is not a system that says, like a personal profiling system that says, well, you have this and this and this and this, and therefore you are this and this and this. The gene keys is an open transmission. It is open. It is an open wisdom that speaks to you, that connects to you. You connect with it, and you, on your journey, you open yourself up to what I call self-illumination. You let the light that is already inside of you out. So, and you start with what's called the shadow aspects. There are 3 levels within the I-Ching or the gene key. So there, and it's called their frequency bands. You know, a lower frequency band based on fear. That's called our shadow aspects, or victim states, victimhood. And this is where we need to start. This is where we have to look first in order to grow, to transcend, to transform. And then automatically, the next level opens up, which is our creative potential. And we all have that, but we all have specific creative potentials. Not everyone is the same. We all connected. We have access to all the 64 keys or to all the aspects of consciousness, but we have certain aspects that are more relevant for us. You know, I have, for instance, in my life's work, I have a shadow aspect of distraction. So, and if I know that, as an example, if I know that, what I do now with the gene keys and that awareness, I pay exquisite attention anytime I'm distracted. And so it is with all the other, there are 14 specific shadow aspects within the profile. And if you know them, you can pay one at a time. You go through with your journey. You contemplate. The tool of the gene keys to work with is called the art of contemplation. So, and that is a tool anyone can do. The first part of contemplation is pausing, creating pauses, consciously pausing and paying attention. Instead of running on autopilot all the time, we are encouraged to pause and stop and breathe and feel and become aware of what we're thinking, what the trigger is at the moment. For me, for example, okay, I had to do this and this, but now I'm sidetracked again. Now, am I sidetracking myself through my own pattern of thoughts? Is that taking me out? Or so that's first person awareness. Second person is someone else coming into my room and say, well, you need to do this and this and this and this. Or is the world or anything outside, any events taking me out of my presence, out of my purpose, out of my thing I wanted to accomplish at the moment. So the gene keys, or to work with the I-Ching or the gene keys, is to become specifically and exquisitely aware of your thoughts, your sensations, and your perceptions. So it's an inner work, and it takes self-responsibility. And it's constantly evolving, it's shifting, it's changing. One week this is more relevant, and the other week is this more relevant. So you can imagine if you have 14 relevant aspects or shadow or victim states within your profile, you've got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, I love this. I actually wish that I actually had my Gene Keys profile actually on screen here, because I can't really remember it, because it was kind of overwhelming when I first came across it. I'm actually loving this. This is actually sinking deeper, and I just want to reach out to people who, if it's completely new, I get it, because it is a wealth of information, and it slowly comes to you. And, you know, you start meeting more people that are involved in this. And then obviously with the Healy, you're interpreting. And so I feel like I'm in my mid-40s, and I only feel like I've only just, I feel like I've been in the art of contemplation for the last sort of 3 years. And as of tomorrow is like the new beginning. I've been pausing and breathing. So for years of my corporate life, if I'm honest, I didn't breathe much. I was constantly in anxiety. I remember going to an acupuncturist, and he said to me, show me your breathing. And it was like up here, you know, because I had so much to do. And I still have friends today that have a massive to-do list. And when I say to them, you know, did you run the Healy? How did you find it? And they're saying, oh, I didn't get time. And I'm thinking, okay, well, there's the first part of the exploration that I've just been on. And so we're all at different stages. I really thought that by my 30s, I would have it all mastered. The fact is, understanding this stuff and learning this, it really does really help you step into leadership. And so a lot of people say to me, oh, I'm not really a leader. Oh, that's not really my thing. We all have leadership, and I love learning this stuff because it allows you to stop with the pushing and just be who you are in your true essence, and everything flows. Like money starts to open up, relationships start to be high vibrational, you start to move away from deceit and, you know, all these kind of shadow aspects. So, but I also love the appreciation that each day it's a contemplation, like it's an awareness, what's going on for me today. So this is why I'm loving the fact that Healy is actually scanning and reading for me as well, because it's seeing what maybe I can't see myself, although I feel like I've started to go deep into this work. And it's the only key for me, like it's been the only answer for me to do this work, to actually move into fulfillment, enrichment, because I've made the money, I've had the $1 million house, I've had the cars, I've had the corporate career, I've had it all. And time again, you know, next thing you know, down to zero again, no relationship, you know, like just all over the place. And I think every decade I'm just going round and round in circles. And it's like, finally, if you step into this work and let go, life just opens up. Like it's just extraordinary. And then we meet people like yourself and other experts, and the community of women and men that are coming forward right now for my business is phenomenal, blowing me away. All self-proprietary, all leaders, all beautiful souls, all looking for enrichment and fulfillment, all aware of what shadow work is, all doing the work. So yeah, thank you for bringing this to us. I'm just stoked. Any questions from anyone, or are you just happy for Rolf to continue? Quiet.
I just my free profile done, and I'm trying to read through it. From the little bit that I've gone through, I thought, this is so me. And I didn't, some of them I sort of didn't realize it until it's written down in front of me, and I thought, oh, this is what I've been dealing with. This is also, so it's sort of telling me that what my purpose is, and how to do it, or what I'm here to learn. And I think, okay, fine. That's why all these things been happening in my life, and it's taken me this long to figure it out.
I'm with you, sister. Yeah, 100%. So what I wanted to share as well is so Rolf is married to Krista, and if you're not in the Healy kind of community, you may not know Krista, but she as well has an enormous amount of knowledge and supports us in our community to help us with, you know, sort of any understandings we need about health and wellness and things like that, and how to kind of tap into our intuition. And I just, yeah, like I can't even remember what I was going to say about that. Krista was the gene keys. Oh, she said to me one day, she said to me, Lee, I can feel your energy, and you're actually overlooking and dismissing this work. So I came from corporate background, and I would read the I-Ching and the gene key stuff, and I was like, it was too too much for me. Like I hadn't really absorbed it. So I invite people to take the time and really sort of tune into what Rolf's saying here, is because that was my lesson, is this stuff, it's such a great awareness. You might not even know you're running these kind of shadow aspects of yourself, but if you have a really honest check on how life has been until now, then this work is definitely, you know, going to take you to the place that you want to be in, you know, that fulfillment, enrichment. It really is the answer, I feel. So,
yeah.
Any other questions or comments? We'll just let Rolf continue. Go ahead, Rolf.
Yes, so I appreciate the comment from you, Kate, that it is or can be overwhelming if you look first at a profile or listen to it. The way I started is, you know, I started and looked at the first sequence, which is the 4 parts of the activation sequence. It's about life, work, our evolution, the way we grow, what are we here to learn. Then it's about our radiance, it's about our health, and then purpose, what really deeply fulfills us. So, and I took one gene key at a time, and it took me 9 months to go to the first 4 gene keys. Really taking my time and really paying attention to my daily life. And I wrote, I had a diary where I wrote things down, you know, my experiences, my insights, my breakthroughs, my connection in the world, how it changed. So I would encourage anyone to really take that time, pay attention. It is an ongoing journey. Once you start with this investigation, you'll never stop. You never get there, because it's so rich and it's always changing. But the more time you spend and the more time you take with this journey, with getting to know yourself and uprooting our shadow states and our victim states, victim aspects, as you said, Lee, the more awake we become, the more we see the enrichment in our lives, the more we content and at peace we are. So step by step, we grow, we take our armor off and the light shines, and all of a sudden things fall into place. Then we can see the synchronicities, the insights we have, the breakthroughs in our lives. All of a sudden magic appears out of nowhere. You know, where we have used force in the past and were impatient, all of a sudden things just fall into place. No matter where, in relationships or with our work or business. So it's a journey, and take your time. This whole journey is not about getting to know something with our knowing mind. Here it's about it's the journey of the heart. It's a journey of our inner being. It's not about knowing something or learning something or changing who we are. It is so much different. It's more about our sensitivity, our intuition, our letting go, our letting out the true selves. And
yeah, I remember, you know, so many years, everyone said, you've got to let go, you've got to trust, you've got to have faith. But I didn't fully get it and fully embody it until now. And I now remember, I don't remember the numbers or anything like that, but I remember when I got my report done, the shadow side was infertility. So you might know what that is, but interesting enough, I have spent my life avoiding, you know, I was married for a long time, and fertility was always a thing, you know, like I felt like I was going to lose my independence. He wasn't the right man, or he was always away. I was just fighting the whole time. And then I was fighting with being okay with me, you know, like, so, you know, being a woman in her 40s and not having family, and like, I masked myself for so long, pretending that didn't matter, and, oh, I don't want children, like, it doesn't matter. And so this information has really transformed my life, and really awakened me to all those patterns and sabotage that I was running, and all the stuff that I was telling myself that was actually untrue. And so I didn't fully get this stuff. So this Gene Keys and I-Ching has really change my world. And it's given me a deeper level of, or a deeper initiation of acceptance.
Yeah.
And so many people talk about love, self-love on social media, and I kind of got it, but not to this level. And I'm okay with the fact that it's going to keep going. I'm okay with it. And I love that. That's a really great tip, actually, to diarize insights, breakthroughs, and things like that. I think that is a really good tip for people to do. And you just have that awareness. And unless you've got the awareness, you can't really change.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions that people want Rolf to answer, or will we move into the Healy aspect and how Healy comes into this?
Mm-hmm.
Just let me know.
Can I ask a quick question, please?
Yes, okay, go for it.
If we want to explore the profile of our gene keys, how do we contact Rolf to get more information or find out more about what to do next?
Yes. So Rolf, I'll get you to just, I'll put in the chat your website, and
Yep.
I'll also after this call, I'll send out the details for Rolf.
Mm-hmm.
But it's www.consciousliving.
RolfKrahnert.com. No, it's my name, RolfKrahnert.com.
Okay, Krahnert.com.
I've got a special for you guys too, for everyone.
Ooh.
Where did I write it? Where is it?
So while Rolf's just getting his details, thanks, Kate. That's good. So yeah, like if so, Rolf, you do readings, and well, you've got a series of services that you offer for people. And for those who are new to what I'm talking about, Healy is a quantum frequency portable device for people. So I've been doing bioresonance therapy for about 10 years, and it's helped me with, well, it helped me, I had swine flu, it helped me with dengue fever, it helped me move through divorce, relationships, profound, like frequency therapy is profound. And so if you are interested in this kind of work, then please reach out to the person who invited you or sent you the link for this. We have got the most beautiful community, and it's all full of, you know, souls that just really want to be their best. And there's just the people that it's attracting is just, there's no competition. It's just beautiful. I'm absolutely in awe. And I posted today that, like, how interesting how life evolves and then kind of brings us all together. And so Healy is a device that you can use. It's portable, and it's, you know, I used to have to go to a practitioner. I used to, you know, I'd worry if I was traveling overseas because my health was kind of up and down. I was in a high-tech environment. I was flying a lot, had radiation poisoning, and so I was vulnerable. And I was, you know, going through all the shadow work. And so, you know, and climbing that career ladder in a very masculine way. And yeah, having frequency, it kind of, I got worried if I was overseas for too long, I would have to come back and book an appointment with my bioresonance therapist. We make a joke of it. We say to get a zap because it's microcurrent. It's, you know, it's using sort of, you know, electricity to open and awaken the cells, if you know, on a very sort of brief. But what we're talking about today is the I-Ching and the gene keys. See how it goes on such a deeper level. It goes into things that you might not be consciously aware of. And so Healy is not just frequency. It's like, I've asked for this. It takes you to places that, it's like people say, does Healy read the future? If you said that to me 3 months ago, I thought you were crazy. Now I'm starting to think maybe you're right, because it would do a scan. It would pick up that I had a migraine. I'd be like, I don't have a migraine. So I would just dismiss it. And lucky that Krista, Rolf's wife, would say, Lee, you know, have a look at this quantum stuff, look deeper, don't dismiss it. And that's that typical corporate woman that would, or high achiever, that would just dismiss this stuff if I didn't quite comprehend it, and, you know, been labeled dyslexic and things like that. So the learning comprehension for me needs to be experiential. Like, I need to feel it, experience it. And so I'm not the expert, but I have so much knowledge and research of my own personal healing journey. And so that's why I love delving into this stuff. So thanks, Rolf. You've put the contact details there and a little offer for us. That's beautiful. Do you want to talk about the Healy a bit more?
Yeah, sure. So as I said before, when we saw that the I-Ching is included in the Healy when you've got the resonance, and the I-Ching comes up and with the relevant I-Chings for the day, and then it tells you a little bit about it. If you want to dive into this in a sense of, no, okay, I'm using what the Healy is telling me at the moment, which gene keys are relevant for me, then I read what the Healy is telling me, and I make my notes, and I'll work with it. I'll let it sit. If you want to go a little bit deeper in terms of the shadow aspects and the gifts and the cities, what I said before from the gene keys, on my website, under resources, I've got a whole list of all the 64 gene keys with the shadows, the gifts, and the city. You can download it and you can have a look. Let's say the Healy came up with gene key, let's say 19, for instance. Okay, 19 came up in the Healy. And okay, you have a look at the list. Okay, 19, what does it say? Okay, gene key 19, shadow aspect of codependency. Right, okay, codependency. Healy's telling me paying attention to the aspect of codependency. Where am I still playing the victim here? Or where am I not showing my face? Where am I not standing up? Where am I still codependent? What's happening? Let's explore this. Let's pay attention. So Healy is helping us with paying attention to deeper levels of our psyche and how we can grow spiritually. And then, of course, you have a look at the gift of sensitivity. The gift is sensitivity. Let's say Healy came up with the gene key 19 or the I-Ching 19, the 19th I-Ching, same as the gene key 19. So sensitivity, okay. You have a look. Every shadow contains a gift. So the gift here is sensitivity. How can I strengthen my sensitivity? How can I be more sensitive to my own needs? How can I be sensitive to others, to the environment, to what's happening? You see, and that alone brings you on a journey into deeper self-inquiry, self-exploration, where we become more and more aware.
Yeah, and not be like myself and say, I'm fine. I haven't got sensitivity. And it's working with someone like yourself as well to help you with the questioning. And I find that if you just open up those questions for yourself, something similar, but it's great to have someone to, who's an expert to really extract it, especially if you're dismissive like I was. And then just spend the next few days in contemplation. Do you know what I mean? Just wait for it to show up, because often it's not what you think.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like
most of the time I found with myself, we have blind spots, and that's why we have in our Gene Keys communities, we have open calls or community calls where we reflect, this is happening for me, and then we share, and through the sharing we become more aware again, and things open up. Or I haven't looked at this, and oh yeah, this is important. So. And when I work with people, it's not about telling this and telling them that. I'm a companion. I walk side by side with someone and help them to ask the right questions. It's all about these self-inquiry. It's all about asking the right questions in order to bring up something into our awareness which we couldn't do on our own most of the time. It's good on your own. But sometimes it can help if someone points you in a few directions. I hear something someone is saying, and think, well, okay, you said this and this and this. What about, where did it show up? How did you feel? What did you do? How did you? So it's asking question and shining light on dark or hidden spots, if you want.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm going to be running a lot of people have got access to the I-Ching on their resonance, but they weren't using it, or they didn't even know it was there. And so I hope this has enabled people, for who's catching the replay or on live, like just to enable you to have that greater awareness and to use those free tools that Rolf has. And then if you want to book that session, I know I'll definitely be taking up that offer. So Rolf, the offer is $150, which is, hold on, so session is 99. Whoa. Instead of 150. Whoa, what an offer.
And all the free. I've got workbooks and ebooks on my resource website. You can download for free. That's all for free.
That is such a great offer for anyone who's catching this. Like, it's to dive into this work. It literally has been a game changer for me. I was literally every decade going around in circles. Make the money, lose the money, make the money, lose the money, get the husband, lose the husband. You know, like, it was just out of control. And just recently moved in with the parents, you know, like defaulted on my mortgage. Like, it was just, it's like, how much needs to happen before the massive ding dong, you know? It's like, before we wake up, truly wake up and have what we desire, but not only what we desire, what we deserve. Like, we all deserve to be and live our best. And to have this beautiful community and to make loads of money and great relationships and everything. So I just want to reach out to anyone who is on live to see if you have any questions. If you have questions after, that's fine too, but I just want to be mindful of Rolf's time here. So is there anything else that you want to know about or just understand? And if there's not at the moment, that's cool too. Rolf, is there anything else that you think is important for this call? I think if, you know, people want more, I think we're on a journey now. I think you've got us for a bit now. So to really sort of start diving deeper into this, because it can be a lot.
Maybe one thought I just had in my mind is, you know, the Healy's addressing not only physical aspects, it also addresses mental, emotional, spiritual levels. That's why I love this Healy so much as well. That's why we got attracted, Krista, myself too. And this whole opportunity that comes with it to build communities of like-minded people and make a difference on this planet, you know. So, but when our whole work is also making people aware of the connection between physical symptoms and our mental, emotional, and spiritual state, because it's all one. You cannot treat one separately and not paying attention to the other part. That's why I like the I-Ching in there, because it opens up a new level where you can say, okay, I have a lower back problem. Okay, let's treat the lower back problem. Let's go to a chiropractor. It's all good. Nothing wrong with it. But we need to start to asking questions again. It's all about asking the right question at the right time. Why am I having lower back problem? What's the reason for it? Of course, normal medical professional will tell you, well, this is out and this is out. Yeah, that's all important. That's all part of it. But what else? Where am I not supported? Where am I feeling not heard? Where am I feeling not emotionally supported? Who's not supporting me? Who's running out of my life? What is sitting my back? You know, all those questions you can start to ask yourself. And the Healy is helping with this. You know, it's pointing here. It's a little bit hidden. You know, it says Gene Key number 19. Have a look at this, or the I-Ching 19. Okay, you look at it. I don't get it. Okay, breathe. Take a pause. Where don't you feel support? Codependency. Where not showing yourself? Where are you not standing up for yourself? So it's taking it on a deeper level. And once you address the mental, emotional state, the physical symptoms almost disappear by themselves. It's all connected. And especially if you have serious problems with your health, you need to address the conflicts. You need to address the shadows, because that's so much important. Because if you just suppress the symptoms, they will pop up at another place at some other time. That's why the Healy is so comprehensive, and it helps us to change and pay attention on all levels, not just getting rid of some symptoms. That's not healing.
Yeah, and that's why Krista got me to really look deeper. You know, it's like, if I understood it, if it said love, relationships, I'd be like, yeah, I get that. But if it went really deep, especially on the I-Ching, it goes very deep. Yeah. I was like, couldn't quite absorb it. And I feel like now, if I just allow even a few days to that information to kind of wake up inside me and situations show up, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's that. So I've had a situation just recently where, you know, some things were presented at me that there were things that I was denying about myself. And I was kind of my initial reaction would have been, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
But because I have been running the Healy now for 3 months, my reaction was, oh, okay. Thank you for showing me that in myself and that part of me that I was hiding. I was so calm, so like, oh, I'm just so happy. It's like, and all this stuff is happening around me. And so, you know, everyone's going on their own journey. No one's doing anything to me, or, you know, so when it comes to relationships and things like that, it's profound. It can really change your state and very quickly.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. The thing with Healy is that for me, I call her being a 988 in numerology as well, if you're into the numerology, but it's like, I feel like she's aggressive in the sense that she works fast.
Mm-hmm.
If you trust and believe that she's got your back. That's kind of how I describe it.
Yeah.
And so it was a deep initiation of trust, because I've done frequency before and it's healed me on a physical and emotional. Nothing to this level, nothing on this quantum spiritual level that I've ever experienced, and that's been 3 months. So profound.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been on quite a while. So if there are not any other questions, very enlightening. We'll certainly look into it more. Yeah, it is. It's profound. And so after this call on the anyone on the replay, if there's anything specific that you want to ask Rolf or myself, then please reach out. Obviously, Rolf's offer is there. If you didn't catch his website, it's hisname.com. And yeah, just reach out. And I think that we'll take this deeper. I think that it would be really great to have a sequel to this. So please reach out and let me know what you want to hear about, what you want to know. As you can see, Rolf is like, his knowledge has been over 30 years, probably more. And so, you know, and you know, past life or whatever you believe in, but it's like, this is his role here, you know, to help educate us in this area that he knows so much about. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. Anyone, any questions before we close out? Rolf, do you have anything else that you want to share?
No, that's it from my point of view. I'd love, of course, to have a series where people can ask questions or maybe dive even a little bit deeper, because
yeah, because we've all got our reports, and because I'm going to go and look at mine now and then grab your resources. But for those who don't have them, to start diving into this area if they're interested, and to take up your offer and start going. That's a phenomenal offer. That this normally I've paid over hundreds, you know, like for this kind of work, like 500, 600, 700 thousands, and I still didn't quite get it. So this is just perfect because we can relate it. All right, so I'll close out the call, and thank you for those who are on live, and any questions for those that are on the replay, and I hope you enjoyed this, because I certainly did. Thanks, Rolf.
Thank you for the invitation. And
thank you very much.
Forward to seeing you all soon.
Thanks, Rolf. Thanks, Leanne.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.